Oh boy. Well, there shouldn't be any audio hiccups because I'm seeing you guys come
Oh,
through
are
here.
you now?
Yeah, unless my encoding needs to be changed again because OBS had another update. So we'll see how that goes.
He's watching us, Paul.
Hmm.
Don't
I,
don't
sp-
don't take it
I,
the wrong
sp-
way.
I suppose that's what happens when you're actually live on YouTube is that people can watch you. It's
Yeah, you get this creepy stalker effect going on.
yeah, but it's even creepier when it's Joe. Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Come on, you don't want to see my smiling face just unexpectedly with
I
no
didn't say
warning
smiles. I
peeking
just
out.
saw really close.
Oh yeah,
he is one chinchilla named Bigglesworth away from being a like evil villain. I'm telling you.
Bigglesworth. I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is one Bigglesworth?
You should have to ask Fisk, but he's not here tonight. So,
No.
He would know the answer to that, wouldn't he?
yeah, but he would probably say something like 72 tires or something like that, right? Like it's yeah.
Well, okay, front tires off of what vehicle? Who am I ripping off here? Like, come on.
You'd have to talk to the four giraffes that hijacked it.
So I'm gonna be honest. I just realized that we're live now.
Oh, we've been live for a couple minutes now. You bet.
Yeah, we got about a minute and a half in. Yeah.
The best part is if you go back and watch all of our videos, all of those scoring systems between tires and giraffes totally tracks. It's yeah.
Indeed.
I know that you can track down an American dollar valuation for each one of those things, like a giraffe or tires, but where's the fun in that? You gotta you gotta figure out what everything means in the most obtuse way possible.
I need to make a note.
Shout
What's
out to the
going on,
guys,
Zinx?
Zinx, Ben, Justin, Infinite. Glad you joined us, guys.
Welcome aboard.
I didn't make this obscure grading system. I'm just running with it, Ben. I'm just running with it.
Yeah.
Although I did say I was going to categorize it at one point, and maybe that'll be our new scoring system now that the old system is kind of put on the back burner for now. So it's.
I think there was a Tim and Eric movies or miniseries where they rated movies, and I think they were just movies, but it was always like, oh, I give this 4 bags of popcorn and 2 drinks, and there was never any like congruency from one thing to the next, or how they graded it, or what was even part of the criteria. It was complete ridiculousness, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I needed to take a minute out there to write down the question: what is one Biggles worth? Because I'm gonna ask Mr. Fisk. I need to know the answer.
John Mississauga, thanks for joining us, man. Cheers. New brewery, I've heard about it. I've actually driven past it a couple times, Justin, but I haven't checked it out yet. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I don't like beer.
You don't like beer?
You're missing out. You're missing out on a good thing.
He missed out on. I was sipping a beer as I said it.
It's a rattler. Let's be honest here.
Hey man, that's understanding.
Who's starting this Carrie show? Am I starting it?
You may as
Sure.
well.
All right. What is the guys carrying tonight? We'll ask that a couple times as people are joining us. But I actually went out for a hike, first one of the season, because a bunch of backcountry roads actually opened up just this weekend. So I was carrying my Bradley Bowie.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I tested some Batani goodness with PSF 27 just to see, and it's got a little bit of a thinner edge. So cool Scarborough. So I did test out just to see thinness. It's a little slicier than it should be, and it stood up just fine. I think it probably would have stood up better than actual D2 with that edge profile. So thumbs up. Yeah, pretty happy with it. I beat it up a little bit and it took it like a champ. So
Cool beans. Good stuff. I've been kind of curious about how that steel actually performs out in the wild, but I never looked into it myself because I'm a lazy bastard.
only downside is the Bradley Bowie is a flat grind, and then flat grind when it comes to batoning kind of hangs up a little bit more than something with a convex or something like that type of thing, right? So but it was kind of a nice combination of being able to beat it up and being slicey with my sausage,
Slice it with the sausage. Absolutely.
It was lunchtime in the woods. What do you think we're gonna have? Yeah.
Cheese and sausage.
Indeed. Just a quick shout out to Corey C in chat. What's going on, man? I think they might be new. I don't know if I've seen that name before.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining.
Do you want to go, Joe, or shall I?
We can go at the same time if you like. Yeah, so we both picked up the Chris highlights in the 4-inch because we're not murderous monsters, but we still like stupid blade shapes. So here is a Chris highlight. Not serrated, but very silly all the same. This is actually my first knife with Oz 10A. I thought it was going to be the Airlight. I don't know about Paul. Do you have anything else in Oz 10A? No. I've heard.
It's a shame because I'm probably not going to hard use this thing either.
I know. I almost want to buy one that I'll just absolutely
practice
abuse.
You're stabbing with. Come on.
With the 6-inch fully serrated model. I mean, obviously.
Nigel, Black Frost Matt, thanks for joining us, guys. Cheers.
Hey.
Nigel and I were out on the hike together. Yeah, the right up the center is a little bit of an inside joke. So, yeah, it's not left or right. It's right up the center. Unlike your knives, which are left and right and kind of up the center type of thing all at the same time. Yeah.
Right into the end, and then it kind of leans one way or the other.
Well, it always has to end in one direction. You can't finish symmetrically.
Why not? Come on. Other people do it all the time.
Like your other people, Joe. Let's be honest here.
Brutal. On that note.
People, you say?
With that hurtful comment out of the way, yeah. Where do you guys want to start?
I mean, we're at Knife News now. We might as well start there.
Yeah. Someone talk about the things on Knife News.
Let's talk about the craziest bullshit on this page. Stuff that we can't necessarily have, but hey, a few of our viewers probably can.
You're gonna start with that, really? All right. Well.
We gotta get the weird. Come on. We gotta get the weird stuff
We're going
out of the way. Let's start with folding punch knives. They're hawkbills. They're kind of nasty looking. I think you can Emerson wave them open. That's kind of scary.
You know, that's just a TDI front flipper waiting to happen is what this is.
You're not wrong. I don't hate it.
I'm just saying.
I love the fact that they're so murdered out, but they're named after a specific type of flower.
Yeah, they have a picture of it here, which is actually kind of nice to see.
The bird of paradise flower.
Yeah, and that custom variant with the Damasteel looks kind of nice, not going to lie.
That is good looking.
Yeah.
Also, cheers to John in chat. What's going on, Brad?
Are they highly poisonous flowers? Is that where?
No, they just happen to be sticking up like that. I think it's just
they're prongy, and so they made a knife that was prongy and similar to. Yeah.
There's talk about the sheath of the way the flower comes out.
Oh, I was like, this knife has a sheath? I'm so confused.
That's too tactical for me. I'm sorry. It's like the guys who were making Kydex carry sheaths, like neck sheaths or belt sheaths for their Spyderco police models, which has like a 4-inch blade. Like you're gonna,
there's tons.
You're gonna neck knife that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's brutal.
I'm gonna neck knife this, but I'm gonna do it open.
And there's ones too. There's ones that I can't remember if it's a Griptilian or whatever, thumbstud, and as you're pulling them out, they'll wave it open because the thumbstud will catch up on the Kydex and stuff like that. Yeah, there's tons of stuff out there like that for sure.
Nothing will beat the Kydex.
Microtech.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Still want to hear what everyone's carrying tonight, guys. Just throw it out there, and also say hi to Zaminator. I think that might be a new guy joining us as well.
That's new to me. How's it going?
Cheers.
All right, so they got a plethora of colors and handle materials and
lots of options.
Things we'll never see. Sweet, good times.
Yeah. Manufactured by Best Tech. So I've heard people say, "Oh, Best Tech shit. Don't trust them making high-end designs." And yet, like we've actually seen. Oh, what's his name? Rogers. The Rogers designed. It's the slut, but what does it stand for?
Oh,
Slim Utility Tool?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was manufactured by Best Tech, and the fit and finish was pretty nice, like pretty goddamn nice. So if they're making this kind of stuff, I don't think you really have to be worried about fit and finish per se.
Just a quick shout out to Given PNW in chat as well with his Quiet Carry Drift, Corey
Nice.
C with his Kingdom Armory Samaritan, Ben with his QSP Harpy.
Very cool.
Justin's carrying his turret, and Nigel is carrying his Slim Utility.
Yep.
His Slim.
Yeah, he may or may not be the part of the reason why we got to see that guy. Yeah, super cool. Best Tech. So I haven't heard too much about Best Tech making big waves in the knife industry recently, but they seem to quietly be integrating themselves with the mid-tech market. It's good to see. More competition is going to drive prices lower.
Yeah, they're starting to battle it out with some Reate stuff, and they're trying to go toe-to-toe. Now, long game, we'll see how that works out for them. But, yeah, they're up to the plate on it at least, right? So
it's always good
from
to
what
see.
I've seen, like, it's only the Slim Utility that I've seen at like that level of quality, like that level of fit and finish, I should say.
Right.
But it impressed me. So I'm curious to see more from Best Tech, you know, mid-tech stuff from Best Tech going forward.
I had to look up the Samaritan too, just to remind myself. And yeah, that's a funky looking knife too. That's cool. That's cool.
What is it? What's she look like?
I can bring that up here.
Don't you worry about it. I'll tell you later.
That doesn't help anyone. Sorry, which knife was that again? The
Kingdom Armory Samaritan.
Yeah, there's the comment. I'll just. Well, there's some pictures from. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh, what also is interesting is the designer Hell there, Ostap Hell, also designed the Tulip, which is the little baby Best Tech that I just kind of am in love with, to tell you the truth. It looks like a little Kiradashi in titanium, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just put those pieces together that he's the same designer, and you can totally see some similar lines in this, even this
This is the third knife in the Bouquet series is what they called it, because it's named after a flower.
Did they have a... No, they don't have links to the rest of the line. Oh, they do. The Tulip and the Ivy. Here we go. So this is the Tulip. Very, very small little guy. I think that one was a... Is that a front flipper?
I think so.
Non-locking knife, I think?
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah,
isn't it?
She's a little adorable little thing. Yeah.
Like just the tiniest little Kiradashi.
Silly, but
yeah.
It shouldn't be any surprise that Black Frost is carrying his Benchmade Super Freak.
I'm not surprised. I'm not totally surprised.
So these guys came out on the hike with us too, and I didn't see those get pulled. Anyway, I'm just saying, I saw some large tools get played with today. Yeah, that's right.
Some large
Was there a
tools.
Youngulus and a green beret this time around?
Well, we can fill you in on that as far as the plethora of tools. Yeah. That's a cool looking knife too. That's the
Ivy.
Ivy. Yeah.
I kind of of the three, this is the one I would be very interested in.
So yeah, this designer actually might be a guy to keep an eye on, because I do like this guy's lines.
He did a bunch of stuff with Wii that was very streamlined, very straightforward and stabby. Kind of vaguely reminds me of the Voking TSO4. Or TSO4? TO4.
You bring that up knife up too much.
I do, because it's awesome. And ceramic ball bearings, motherfucker. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fun. I actually didn't know it was ceramic.
Could be worse. You
bearings.
could be mentioning your crossbones every goddamn episode. Anyway.
The crossbones is the reason I own this, so yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. It's modeled after a flower. It looks kind of neat. Super illegal in Canada, which is unfortunate, but for the guys in the States who want something a little bit unorthodox, this is... Like, I really like buying just weird shit, so this would be in my collection were it legal, like, in the next month or two. But I think for those of you interested in the States, it's definitely an interesting knife.
I'm telling you. Contact K-Bar. Get the front flipper action going.
Yeah. No.
just like a Boker or Excalibur.
Hold on.
It's just a front flipper.
Didn't they make a TDI folder, but it was just an opening hole? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with that. Is
What the hell? Did
TDI.
they just call it the TDI folder?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'll just
I
bring that
want
up
to
as a visual.
comment on something that Justin said in chat here. I saw some large tools getting played with. Knives were also there.
Thank you.
It's true. It can be two things, okay?
Yep.
Like it's...
I remember that thing.
Oh, yeah.
It always felt like it wasn't open all the way.
It's super weird. Like the momentum that you build up with a blade that heavy, and then to have it just stop at the halfway point, it's like it's not right.
Okay.
It's
We'll take it one step further and cut that hole open and make it into an Emerson wave.
I think I've seen guys in blade forums actually grind out those holes specifically to wave.
I don't know if I have on a TDI. I have on other Spydercos, obviously, right? But yeah.
How dare you put those thoughts in my brain?
The other one was, I think this was before the matriarch came out, but some people had ground down the civilian blades to allow for kind of a hooky, like they'd leave the top of the opening hole, but they'd get rid of the portion in front. Super weird looking blades after that modification, especially.
Super weird on many. Yeah. Anyway, what else we got for knife news?
Well, the Lion Steel stuff is particularly interesting.
The Lion Steel Jack series.
So they announced 3 variants of a modern traditional knife. M390 for everything. 3 variations. One is just a single blade. The other is with a little pry bar / bottle opener / Phillips / flathead screwdriver. And then the other one is with the addition of a corkscrew. They're fairly reasonably priced, surprisingly. I thought they were going to be just way too freaking expensive to even consider. I think, what was it, 220 for the one, like that was the most expensive one with the carbon fiber and the corkscrew and the cap lifter.
USD or polar bear dollars?
Polar bear dollars. So USD is probably closer to 200.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Sub 200 if exchange is proper.
Yeah. That corkscrew better be M290.
No, Sandvik steel. It's totally Sandvik steel.
You know, if it's 12C or 13C, I don't care. Sure, fine, why not?
They're making it out of N690 Cobalt. They got to stay true to their Italian roots.
I'm okay with that too. I want to know that it's a knife steel for no other reason than to know that it's a knife steel.
God, that's such a waste of material. But anyway, I actually don't know. I don't know what the machinery looks like that makes corkscrews, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to look at a video later to figure that out. But
I'm curious about this guy for the blockiness factor. I've seen a couple Lion Steels where the lines on them don't look as clean as some traditionals, and they look a little like handle to blade ratio looks blocky.
I'm not 100% sure. Looking at these knives in the official pages here, they don't look super squared off. Like they look like they have a little bit of contouring, so I don't imagine it would be terribly uncomfortable.
Not uncomfortable wise, it's just the lines of it, right? Like they've had ones in the past, and this one isn't as extreme as some of the other ones they had, but it doesn't have quite the same flow. Like the original Lion's introduction to it, which I was lucky enough to get a roundhead. Like that was one of I think that was their first modern traditional.
The roundhead?
The roundhead, the collector's knife exclusives. And then they did shufflers and clip points and whatever it was after that, right?
I think you're right.
Since then, they've come out with a couple knives that,
They do a Barlow with a bottle opener as well, and that's a really good looking knife. Given P&W also said in chat to make the corkscrew out of LC200N, so it doesn't rust.
Man's onto something there. The man's onto something.
All right, that's acceptable, I think.
Also, Justin wants the corkscrews to be made out of something shock resistant because you never know. And I don't know why that sounds so ominous to me, but it really does.
I'm going to say that it's not a pogo stick. Don't treat it like one.
You're not going to get the kind of flex out of that thing that you think you will.
No. And the balance that you would need to have to work that thing properly, it's impressive.
Do you have to say work that thing properly? Like out loud?
Man, people were using their tools earlier this evening. You know where this episode is going.
That doesn't mean I have to like it.
I'm getting off at the next station.
That might be the right thing to do.
So yeah, I
I'm
do
also gonna
like
leave it
the
all.
idea of these, and I'm hoping that they have a little cleaner lines. Like the picture you have up right now actually doesn't look too bad. It almost looks like what's that handle pattern? It's
That's G10, I'm
They
pretty
call,
sure.
they call it the jack.
just a jack, is all they call it.
Yeah, they just call it the jack.
Because it's not like it's not like a straight
It's
Barlow style handle. It does have a little bit of a
it's like a stubby toothpick almost.
Yeah, I think that might be the
So that's
closest
pointed.
thing. That tapering sort of tail end.
Yeah.
Let me
Because
actually
if you
see
look,
It looks
go
like
ahead.
a corkscrew. Like if you went to buy a corkscrew that had a little knife for cutting the foil and stuff like that, it wouldn't
The sommelier's knife and stuff, right?
Exactly,
So
yes.
yeah.
Oh, knivesandtools.com is checking my browser, but
So
okay,
yeah, a little bit like a toothpick.
that's
Not quite as crazy, but
yeah, like that's
not as pointy.
keep bringing it up again.
But yeah, I was actually gonna mention like Lion Steel has a knife called the Best Man.
Oh yeah,
and you talk about the blocky on it, like the lines just look like really awkward. Makes a 110 look clean, like smooth as butter, right? It's
the Best Man. I'll bring that one up here as well for comparison's sake.
See it.
Yeah, that
And
one's
there's-
super blocky. I forgot about that guy.
so that's the only thing I don't like. I'm hoping that they don't have, but it's hard to tell from this picture or like the last picture. They don't look nearly as bad, but yeah, like I don't know. Lion Steel's hit and miss with their like clean lines, whereas I find a lot of the GECs just they have it nailed down on like everyone you look at.
But the GECs are not like they're not modern interpretations of that pattern.
No,
They
they're
are
true
very
traditionals.
true to the original.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. At least it doesn't have a beard fork next to my sausage comb, you know.
Hey man, don't judge how I fork my beard.
Hey man. After so many beers, those things are going to get interchanged at some point in time.
What does the Little Mermaid call a fork? It's
Oh.
a dingle hop. It's a dingle hop.
That
man.
sound-
It's a dingle hop.
That sounds about right. Yeah. That's
Maybe
a
dingle
throwback.
hopper. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Having a sausage fork and a beard comb right next to each other is a little strange for sure.
That
doesn't
we've
mean I-
commented on that in previous episodes.
But that doesn't mean that I
beard long enough, you're going to end up with food in it. It's going to happen.
see, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't like one if I had the option to buy it.
If you're gonna
Just
do
don't
it,
use
at
the
least
fork. It's weird.
at least put them on opposite sides of the knife. Like turn it where the corkscrew is on this knife, type of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Like have them separated by a line or something.
something to give me something to work with here. Like it's
Nah.
anyway. Are we on to the
It's
next
no different
topic
than a
here?
Swiss Army knife.
What's the steel on this bad boy? It probably should be M390.
It is
right?
it is M390.
Sweet. Hopefully at that sweet 52 Rockwell that they like to put on stuff. Maybe it's going to be a 57 to a 63, just for the record. I'm not sure. They do like to throw that 6-point variance just to mix it up a little bit every once in a while, right? So
Do they? I've never actually looked at their spec sheets before.
yeah,
Sometimes.
dude. It was the one that was. It's a Lion Steel traditional that was kind of like the Spanish guy, I believe. Give me 2 seconds.
Hey,
that
they-
one,
Dude, they actually tell you what the steel of the corkscrew is on this thing. It's
Amazing.
It's 420 high carbon.
There you go.
That's amazing.
That's
That's-
knife steel. I'm happy.
Dude.
There's no H in that. There's no H in that.
No, but you gotta assume that's a typo. Because what the fuck is 420C?
420.
They made
It's
it
got
out.
carbon in it. Like it's
okay. Let me look. Steel chart app. You guys really should have this if you don't already. 420. Okay, there's a 420CW, but there's no 420C. So either this is a typo and it's supposed to be HC, or it's actually 420CW, which is an analog of S90V. No, this is 420HV or HC. Yeah.
And they don't say a HRC on that particular item.
Son of a bitch. Okay, do they have like an FAQ table where they talk about hardnesses or anything like that?
I don't know. But
Okay.
either
well,
way,
fair enough.
yeah.
I assume that they're going to be properly heat treated
I
for
mean, I don't
whatever
know
that's
why you
worth.
would.
You what that? What's that? Sorry.
I said I don't know why you would
Yeah.
assume that they were properly heat treated.
Well, there was also some things that saying that controversy was completely full of crap and they were actually completely fine the whole time, right? So there's both sides of that story.
Well, among testing, like they put up an apology video, then they deleted the channel, and then they brought the channel back without the apology video up. But they still conceded that they were wrong as far as calling out Lion Steel in particular, the knife that they had tested as being out of spec. It was within spec.
And I think it was actually a round head that they were testing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was the person who they sent it to. They didn't test it correctly. There was something wrong with the indicator when they ran the test, if I remember.
That's convenient. Convenient.
Yeah. Well, there were a few other people who actually sent in their line steels for testing to local machine shops, and apparently there was no one else who found an issue.
I think I had heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So it's good to throw things, to like question things, but as far as jumping on bandwagons, maybe a little bit of restraint is prudent.
I will jump on whatever bandwagon I want to jump on.
Even that 6-point variant they put up, that was after the controversy, wasn't it?
It was after the controversy.
I really hope it was somebody being super sarcastic at the Alliance of like
It was like the next knife that Lion Steel announced all of a sudden was a 57 to a 63, I believe is what I saw on their website somewhere along the way, and it made me chuckle to high hell.
That is such a wide variance, like impressively so. Like I don't even know how you could heat treat something that badly, but anyway.
What else we got? We
got some stuff. I don't know. I didn't actually read the Tuya, Wezen, or Artisan articles.
We can back that train up because I'm pretty sure. Did we get to talk about the stupid Swiss Army knife yet?
No, we didn't talk about that one yet.
And the Artisan CJRB would also be something that I might want to dabble on a little bit. But yeah.
What was the stupid Swiss Army knife thing?
Oh, indeed. What was it indeed? Knife News, man. On the homepage, you'll find it.
All I can tell you is it's got 2 screwdrivers.
Are you sure it's on the homepage?
Multi-bit.
Yeah, actually, in the latest column, right in the middle of the homepage.
Oh, I see.
Go down to April 23rd, right after the Hell.
That's right, the mega-sized Swiss Champ, extra large.
There's some pieces on this thing that I have no idea what they do or what they're claiming that they do.
There's a long history of pocket knife makers, and I mean this is dating back to like the mid 1700s, but long history of people making the biggest, most ridiculous folding knife tools they can, packed with as many different features as possible, just to show that they could. Victorinox sees fit to continue this tradition, even though the usability of these tools is greatly diminished by the fact that you're carrying, 8 pounds worth of steel in your pocket.
It's 12 ounces. Give them a break.
Okay, 12 ounces is actually...
I have no idea how much it weighs, to be honest.
Fair enough. Okay, this thing is ridiculous looking. So
it's 12.5 ounces, my friend. It's in the article.
Nice. Good job.
That's gold.
It's got 2 screwdrivers with friggin' interchangeable bits.
Oh,
Ben, you would think that it's a April Fool's joke, but this was posted on April 23rd, so that's the worst joke ever if they're 3 weeks late on that sumbitch. So
I think we're the joke at that point.
Heavier than this knife. I was gonna say I don't have my Adamas handy, otherwise I'd show that. But
that's a plain G10 handle. That's not even where is your normal Adamas? Jeez, where's your 456?
I don't have the 456.
Than my Surge.
God, that thing's heavier than your Surge?
Yeah, easily. I don't think any of the Leathermans do. They hit double digits on Leathermans? I don't think they do.
A Surge is 12.
Is it? Okay.
Well, what's the Mutt out of curiosity? Do you know? No? Okay, fair enough.
The Surge's got more tools in it. That's the only thing.
But yes, 21. The 2 universal bit drivers confuses me a lot.
Well,
What about the bit holder too? Because there's a thing that holds your spare bits in that knife on the opposite side, I think, of the screwdriver.
you're fucking with me, right?
They've got pictures of
Oh,
it.
if you scroll down,
Oh my
there's one
God.
of it exploded.
That is
And
amazing.
I'm pretty sure if you click on the double XL button, it actually does go to Swiss Army's website.
What the hell? That's amazing.
Okay, so there's some things. Above where the universal bit drivers are, there's the normal flathead with the bottle opener. And then behind that, what is that? It looks like a wrench or a hex, like...
Where?
So the flathead screwdriver bottle opener.
This thing here.
Right on the very top, and then right underneath it.
Oh, no,
it's got
here.
This
yeah.
pair of fish gouging something or other.
Are we looking at the same picture here? Because that looks like a Phillips head driver. I'm trying to...
Yeah, that looks like
not underneath the can opener, underneath the bottle opener on the other side, sir.
Oh, the other side.
That's a can opener you're looking at. So straight down from that.
Yeah.
Where the fish scaler is and the bit holders
Okay.
are. That where it's got the can opener, flat screwdriver, electrical stripper. No, you have no idea where I'm looking.
No,
right
farther down.
That right there, where your mouse is on. That's a flat screwdriver and a bottle opener.
And just to the thing beside that.
Oh, this thing. Oh, Jesus. That. Okay, because there's another bottle opener, like on the other side of the knife, underneath the Hawkbill blade, and I thought that's what you were talking about, but they doubled up on the... Okay.
It's got two bottle openers and a can opener.
Well, they're two different kinds of bottles.
Directly above the saw and the fish scaler. What is that thing? What is it? What is it? So
that has little dimply grips on the one side, but like it's flat on the other. So I don't know. Is that like a something you'd use for adjusting like bolts or something?
Bolts? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but
it's like
you have the wrench. But you have the wrench. So why do you need this other tool that does that? And
you got the pliers too.
Or pliers. Yeah. Not wrench. That's super strange.
It also has a full-size plain blade and a full-size serrated blade. Yeah. It's for golf tees. I was wondering if it was part of the golf tool.
Really?
Whatever,
okay.
Right? But yeah.
I've never played golf. I'm not even golf adjacent. My dad plays golf. I know nothing about it.
Tees out of the...
So what the fuck is that tool for?
Does it set the height of your golf tee, maybe? Why does it have two package carrying hooks?
Parcel carry hooks.
In case you need to carry more than one parcel, or maybe because you need to have like extra support on the twine. I don't know. Every other tool here is slightly different. Like even the bottle openers, even though there's two freaking bottle openers, at least they're shaped differently. So there's some justification, but those parcel hooks look identical.
And now I'm also looking, just because it has like the list of what like numbered, even though they don't individualize it, and there's nothing about a golfing tool in the numbered thing.
I am so confused.
It does say a universal wrench of M2, M4, M5, which is what I kind of thought it was.
73
I can't
functions.
find a wrench for those three.
Oh my! Did you say 70 great functions?
73.
73.
It's 2.5 inches wide. It wouldn't fit on the like Canadian air flight. It must be. It would. The width of the knife wouldn't fit for where the length of the blade needs to be.
Okay, multi-purpose hook with nail file. What tool is that? Multi-purpose hook.
This thing's ridiculous. I know. It's just there's
like,
so much.
There's
much to go through.
I'm just impressed. Like if we look up,
I'm pretty sure there's two leather punches. There's one down beside the magnifying glass and the bit holders, and then there's one on the back too. Not sure what's going on there.
So there's a multi-purpose hook. There is a hook disgorger, and then there's a multi-purpose hook with a nail file. There's
so the hook disgorger is on the scaling, the fish scaler? The
Yes.
end is for
Yes.
taking a horse.
The gouger. Yeah.
So if we disregard the disgorger, then we're left with a multi-purpose hook and a multi-purpose hook with a nail file. So there's a nail file on the opposite side of one of those hooks.
The back side of one of those hooks has a nail file, so it's different.
There you go.
There's the justification. Man, I wish we could find a photo of it. Okay, this is all. Oh my god, there's
fantastic.
All the tools lined up. That's incredible. I wish we could find a photo of the nail file on that hook because I'm super curious.
If it came apart in the middle, I could almost understand having the 2 screwdrivers.
Yeah, one for you, one for a friend, right?
Sorry, I just got like 3 messages back to back on Instagram here. Apparently, my memes for the night are funny.
Well, don't worry about it.
They can be. Don't you worry about it.
It just happened all at once there.
Good stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is super freaking weird. Again, a weird continuation of a weird tradition. It comes with a nice display case because you'd be crazy to carry the fucking thing. It's neat, but I feel like I don't know, like the Spyderco Drunken or a Benchmade Gold class, that's kind of taken the place of the flexing in the knife world from production companies, you know, instead of doing these massive multi-tools that
Who else is doing this other than Victorinox?
I don't know. I'm not really.
I'm kind of into it because of that.
It's neat, and it's a kind of a cool talking piece. And it's a good. Like, I wonder what's different about those 2-bit drivers now I'm thinking about it.
Nothing. There's nothing different about them. But in case, and I even thought maybe they came off opposite side and you can, like, you know, get some. No, there's not even that. On the rare occasion where you might have to have 2 bits into the same thing at the same time.
If it came apart in 2 knives and you had 2 different screwdrivers, that would make sense too.
That would actually be nice for things like free spinning pivots. And other such things,
let's not act like this thing has a sausage fork. Come on, like
that's the one thing it doesn't have.
That's what the fish degorger is for.
I hate that name, by the way. Screw you, whoever included that, because that's terrible.
Because de-hooker doesn't sound any better.
As opposed to being like engorged, now you're disgorging. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'll disgorge.
Oh, please don't. Okay,
right.
I think that's enough of the Victorinox.
I think that might be about all we can handle with that ridiculousness. Yeah.
Indeed.
I wouldn't mind to dabble on the artisan one as well.
Sure. I haven't read this one, but
okay. So here's the thing: is you see the top knife on the top is got the artisan cutlery. So the big news is that now you can buy the same knife with a different logo.
Do they not change the blade steel or the sheath or anything like that?
No, sir.
I was under the impression that they had moved the knife out of the artisan lineup into the CJRB. Maybe I'm wrong there.
They do say it is being transitioned from Artisan's main line, so it's being moved. So they're no longer making the Artisan variant.
Yeah, they're moving it to a price point, like CJRB's price point.
They say they're transitioning because it only got released this year.
There you go. So they released it, and then they went, no, CJRB, you go over there.
And that might be because of the custom steel, and they want Artisan to start playing with the S35 big boys. And so they might be leaving their budget steel because they're claiming like it's a wonder steel, but at the end of the day, it's probably a 9CR18 and blah, 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 which probably belongs with the CJRBs. And they might start to throw in some with some Bestecs and some whatevers. Yeah.
Who's willing to take bets that they just used the wrong label when they laser etched it the first time? So now they got to backtrack and say, no. We meant to do that. We're just transitioning from one company to another now.
You know, of all the companies out there that might, I'd actually buy that. It got talked about live during the SHOT Show, and they just screwed them.
Yeah.
That. I gotta say, the artisan knife, the weird notch there, like where a sharpening tool would be, if there was a flat behind it.
It's so useless. Why is that there?
It's so much nicer on the CJRB.
It's for better purchase, obviously. So,
like, as in more people will buy it, because I disagree.
Boo! That was a terrible pun. Boo!
Well, it wasn't good to start that train, just for the record, but
No.
Paul ran with it, so
Jesus.
Sometimes
Okay,
I'm
so
not.
they're using their proprietary 440C equivalent Chinese made steel. That's fine. Do we know a price point for this guy?
um well, I mean, I believe the artisan one should be out fairly
Wait,
quickly.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on. So the artisan version hasn't even been released yet?
Well, I don't know if it has been or not.
If you scroll back up in the article, it actually says that the artisan prototype batch was released a month ago.
It says here, yeah, at this point, that knife is still slated for an artisan cutlery release. Oh, no, they might be talking about the Hystrix. Okay.
A more tactically oriented offering from that same maker.
Okay, fair enough. So I might just be misreading that.
Yeah,
But
if you scroll up a little bit, it's highlighted. You can like click on the
the
thing.
prototype batch.
Yeah.
That's a neat looking knife.
Oh wait, I'm misreading things. Reading things. I remember that knife. I did like that.
With
Well,
the
if you
ring,
scroll
yeah.
down and then there's the Silex there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're both really long blades for like just an EDC fixed blade.
And then when you try to click on Silex, because the word itself is highlighted, like up above.
Product not found.
Product not found.
Sweet.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the Hystrix
That's the
isn't
other
in there
company.
either.
You weren't
Hystrix?
there for that? Yeah.
Very weird.
Get that memo. It went over there. So
Go follow it. See where it leads you.
But like I said, I wonder, with like Bastek getting some waves and being like dropping some bombs on some high end stuff and things like that. I wonder if it's like this is their move to get artisan a little bit more top tier and save.
I think there needs to be more competition in the budget realm anyway. Like, it seems like there's a ton of Chinese companies that start producing stuff in budget and then they transition into higher end stuff and they kind of leave the budget shit alone. There are companies who are doing a great job in that space, like CGRB actually is one of those few companies that, like, okay, decent price, decent materials. But aside from,
I know John's got the which one is it? The Feldspar?
It was the JG10 one he had, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I don't know if that was.
There's a couple of good ones that I've seen. I know. The Gobi is which one he had. We did a score on it. We can watch the review. You should do that.
Yeah, and we'll just run commentary on the episode. That'll be a great live stream. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we should Mystery Science Theater 3000 our own reviews. It would be fantastic. Just like pick the crap out of them.
We need to make videos for a couple more years first, and then go back and cringe at ourselves.
Yeah. Hold you to it.
Me, or does this thing look like straight up a kitchen knife?
Well, they talk about it in the article about how it like leans towards that, but they wanted to market it towards an outdoorsy. Again, I'll baton it. I'll see how outdoorsy it'll be for sure.
And in terms of toughness, you expect that with like powder metallurgy technology, this is going to be relatively tough. So I think it would probably perform fairly well in that space.
You also can't tell from the flat photo how thick the blade is, and that would totally change how the knife performs.
Well, and for the most part, they've been focusing this steel on folders, and stock is thin and slicey in ability. And like, if it is a powder steel of a 440C or a 9CR or like polishes like a Sandvik type of thing, yeah, for sure. Like the outdoorsy thing, maybe they can push the limits of it. But all I've seen so far is pocket knives. I've like, to my knowledge, other than the one with the karambit ring that they came out with, this is their first offerings for fixed blades, and none of them look like a beat up knife. No. Again, they're focused towards more slicey dicey than they are. So I don't think we're working with a 3V tough. Well, obviously we're not working with 3V toughness, but we might not even be working with a 154 CM toughness type of.
You don't think so? Hey, well, fair enough.
It's tough to see, but they've been pushing it on more of their pocket. Yeah, for sure. No. They did have that Tigress, which we all mocked because this big beefy thing for its anyway, made up name that they just kind of ran with anyway. So and that's the only thicker knife that they did with that particular steel, right? But
I
Yeah.
forgot that thing existed.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. It was good stuff.
For the best tech. Anyway, this thing's a kitchen knife.
I think the only other thing that I noticed, well, there was two more down the center column that might be interest. Kaiser is just going to drop a bomb of release knives by the end of June, apparently. So back on Knife News homepage, blah, blah, blah. How other companies have been trickling them out. Cold Steel, we got some mini leathernecks and some of that stuff trickling out. And Benchmade, it's a one-at-a-time thing, which is normal for Benchmade. That's what we expect. But there is an article about Kaiser just being like, 15 releases, June, boom, here you go. They're ready to go. So
that's pretty nice.
We'll see if that holds up or if they pull a Spyderco. Yeah. So well, it's big enough shade that I can get away with it. So it's good stuff.
That Infinity looks awfully familiar.
It's because we looked at these knives at the beginning of the year.
I mean it. It's. You can't tell me.
Yeah. Well, and even the MKM and like there's a whole bunch of these knives. Now the thing with the Pilar and the MKM, and they're both box, and I don't think that one is. But
no, this is an Azo My design apparently.
The Infinity, and the best part is it's very similar to the Mylea that Swags developed. Mm-hmm. Very similar knife to that as well. I mean,
I get that there's only so many shapes that are going to be comfortable in a hand and comfortable to use in a knife, but really?
And Justin, I realize it's the River Tigris, but they scrambled for a name on that knife. That's not what they wanted to call it, and they made it up an excuse to call it that knife, and it didn't even make sense. So
they wanted to call it the Tesla, and nobody would let them.
The Kaiser already stole it, so CJRB and Artisan was like, "Oh, damn, ours doesn't have unbreakable windows."
I mean,
oof.
Nobody's does.
Nobody's does yet, at least. So, and we don't need to. We looked at all the Kaiser stuff at the beginning of the year, so it's just kind of a note that it was just kind of there. It seems like they might just be dropping a bomb and being like, "Boom, they're already here. You go," type of thing. So
some of these look new to me, though.
What's that, Paul?
Just you guys can't be ready for this year. We can.
Yeah.
That
I
the
love
mini
that coffin tip handle.
Yeah, what is that called? The De La Orme? That thing looks new.
Isn't that one of the integrals? Integral G10 integral carbon fiber? I thought that was.
They don't say it's integral here. You figure they would if it was.
Oh, no, you can see screw construction. No, I'm thinking about the Wii knife.
Yeah. That's kind of nifty looking, though.
It's interesting that we, and I think Civivi and this company are all doing something that's not the same, but similar.
Well, you can't tell me it's a coincidence that both Kershaw and CRKT come out with spring assist and ball bearing both in the same year. Like, there is some themes that secrets are getting leaked, and all of a sudden there's some similarities across a lot of different, like, watch out for the pivot collars type of thing, right?
No.
Oh, we're doing pivot collars? Okay, let's do backspacers. What was I talking about the other day about just like barrel spacer collars? I don't know. I was getting stupid. I was like, that's the next thing. Like it's. Yeah.
I do vaguely remember you saying something like that.
Something ridiculous that they're going to jump on the train.
Collars to like pivot plates almost this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. The triangular Kershaw plates came out to play with Kershaw and CRKT for sure. Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not? I guess.
Joe, did you have a thing?
Kind of.
All right. I also kind of have a thing.
It's not a big thing. It is kind of a big thing, but it's something that I think most of the community is going to be aware of. Demco Knives is now a thing.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that. That's a good thing to talk about. Yeah.
I'm gonna look for his website here because last I checked, it wasn't super well fleshed out. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. So this is the AD20 with the shark lock, which is super cool. He very recently came out with the AD20.5, which is a smaller version using Grivery handles, I think, with steel liners, AUS 10A steel. He was aiming for under, I think it was around 150 American for that variant of his 80-20. Super cool, but that was the inaugural sort of product that he's coming out with. Major thing for me is this is a huge indicator that he's not moving forward with the new cold steel going forward. Which is,
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
I'm gonna own one at some point. I have already decided that like I want to own an 80-20, just the full custom at some point. But I know that I will be buying the production variant at some point. Personally,
as far as new news as well, Ben's bringing up QSB has a new one called the Hamster. Yeah, we've seen it. Just side note, yeah, silly thing. S35, I kind of want one. Let's be honest here.
QSB Hamster.
I like silly knives, but I haven't figured out how to flip or delete it and not make it stupid. So
God, that's adorable. Oh, that's chunky. And why? I didn't realize it was so chunky. That's funny. Anyhow,
Anyway, back to Demko.
Yeah. So super cool to hear that he's breaking off on his own and doing his own thing. Apparently, he's got at least one other Cold Steel employee working with him. The Demco knives of the Oz 10A are being made in Taiwan.
Not to give anything away, but is that one employee's name rhyme with Schmin Schmonson?
It might.
That would be amazing. That's a pure like Putin move.
Brutal.
I'm just saying, it's.
Oh, well, okay, here's the thing. The packaging that they're using, and you can view this on Demco's Instagram. I really, really recommend you go follow him because he's pretty consistent with his updates. But he was showing off the packaging. I mean, it's not enough that these knives are made out of Oz 10A, which is a weird steel to come across just on your own. Oz 10A, but the packaging looks like it's just a higher quality version of the the current cold steel boxes. With the blue and the black ink for everything. I think his is double walled thick, which is interesting. But he's totally...
Only you, Joe. Only you
dude, but
would make a comment about...
The packaging?
I think that cardboard, she might be
double walled thick.
Quality.
Yeah, but it looks like...
I think that Oz 10 is just a little bit, like... safer in that cardboard.
But point being, I think that he's got a couple connections now from his time with Cold Steel, and he's making use of them, which I think, which is a great thing, honestly.
Does packaging have the cancer warnings of the old Cold Steel stuff?
I hope so. I really hope so. Just for old time's sake, kind of thing. But I actually don't know.
And there was actually a picture just recently that I saw of the internals of an 80-20. I can't remember where I saw it. Give me 2 seconds. I think it was Instagram.
Shabazz has taken one apart, hasn't he?
Yes. I believe he has. 80-20 disassembly. I'm not getting any hits on Google Images, unfortunately.
No, neither am I.
It's a super interesting design, though. Like, you've effectively got this steel plug, and on the inside of the plug there's a slot, and inside the slot there's a coil spring, and that's what pushes the blade upwards and jams it into the lock position. Like, it's a super cool little lock. It's super similar to the SNEX. What the hell is that thing called?
The Sangren.
Yeah, Sandrin did a version of his lock, but Snex had he didn't call it the power lock. That was the Spyderco thing. Anyway, Snex has a lock that operates in an eerily similar fashion, but the way it interfaces with the blade is just different enough that, like, okay, patently they are different in the way that they work, but they're actuated in it's the same thing. I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot more of these backspacer-based sliding bar locks, because it seems like a really interesting way to do those types of mechanisms.
Who was it that put one out? It was a Chinese company that put one out that was similar to all of that.
Really. That was Artisan and CJRB. But it was still Omega springs on either side.
Yeah.
At the end of it all. Those ones were still, you opened the knife up, and Shabazz did a disassembly of it, but when you opened it up, it was straight up Yeah,
And there
Omega
was
springs.
no coil springs or anything, and there was
Whereas
something.
this one's a coil spring. It's almost like he hybrided a lock back and a access lock together, and that's what he made. Now the cool thing about this as well, and I don't, you've seen disassemblies, and I wish we could find a picture. I'll see if I can find one. But it's got the same 3 pins as a triad lock. It's exactly the same 3 pins.
Yep.
As a triad lock. It's just a completely different mechanism, but where those are set up when you look at any cold steel knife, those are set up in the exact same spot, reinforcing in the exact same place.
Does it surprise you that the guy that made the triad lock also made this one?
Yeah.
Like, look at the Scorpion lock where it engages versus where the Shark lock engages. It's just a plug that engages in the same part. He's got a theme.
Wait. So are you telling me that this guy's knives lock to the tang of the blade? That's craziness.
Yeah. Think about it.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Anyway, that's my bit. Good for you, Demko.
And the production aspect, I'm interested again. Like, fly on the wall, watch this company, see where it goes. Schmin Schmompton over there might be selling blowguns and spears the next thing you know, right? So yeah.
One would hope.
Yeah.
So your thing, Dennis.
He just dyes his hair like Steven Seagal black just to blend in. And
as long as he doesn't do shock yellow, I'm okay.
I want it specifically to be shoe polish. That's streaking down the side of his face.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul, you were saying?
Just you have a thing.
I do.
And before we get to your thing, I just wanted to mention DBK's Kickstarter.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay, so this is TRC knives, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. I'm gonna use the washroom because I have to do that. Government break. I'm the reason there's a government mandated break right there. Anyway, give me 2 seconds, boys. Chat away, Paul.
Yeah.
There we go. DBK has a Kickstarter. You should go and support their Kickstarter. If you're interested in well-made tools, LMAX steel, that appears to be a Micarta handle. They took inspiration from a number of knives in their own collection. Some Falkneven, some Bark River stuff. I forget, there was some other options that came in as well. But they took things that they liked, the blade length of a Bark River Gunny, for example, the blade height from a Falkneven. I want to say it was the A1. And they picked and chose the things that they like about all these different knives, and they made a knife from it. And you would think that would end up looking like some kind of abomination, but it's a bushcraft knife at the end of it.
It's such a simple looking design at the end of the day. It's one of those things where it's like, why does this need to exist? It's because it's an amalgamation of different features that you don't really see from one particular company. Like the convex grind that is a Scandi, you don't often see. And on top of that, the particular division between the spine, the beginning of the grind, and the edge is something you don't typically see. As you add these features, what I'm trying to say is that as you add these features, you often don't see something that meets the cross section of all of them, which is super cool, because if you like the DBK preferences and you agree with a lot of their reviews, you're probably going to see this knife and go yes, I need this, because this is the closest thing. This is the closest thing to perfect that they can make, so I should enjoy it as well. I think it's brilliant marketing, absolutely 100%. But it looks like it's going to be a fairly comfortable knife to use, so I'm interested to see what people have to say about this. Do we have
Sorry.
I was going to say, I have 2 questions. First of all, you might have covered it already, but what kind of steel are we working with? LMAX? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought they were. Second of all, I'm pretty sure no rounded spine, which is actually super rare for TRC.
Yeah, it's a sharp spine for throwing sparks off a fire.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. But if you look at TRC's every other model, pretty much, they threw out a rounded spine, which I find very curious that they made an exception just for these guys, right? So
the thing that surprised me originally, I was talking to Joe about this a little bit earlier today, and I was saying that there's a lot of inspiration from different Bark River knives in this knife, and it surprised me that they hadn't gone to Bark River to have it made. But TRC is a European company, and they're in Europe, so it makes a hell of a lot more sense to have a local company, or much more local company, make your product.
Shipping logistics
trying to get somebody to make it in the States
would just be a nightmare. Shipping anything from North America to the UK, for instance, absurdly expensive. The reverse, not so much. So
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, from a purely logistical money-based focus here, I get it. I get why they would do that. Plus, it's not like this company makes bad knives in the first place. They know how to heat treat LMAX without it getting chippy and flaky, right?
If they have a video where they kind of put this knife through its paces, DBK does. They put it out last week.
Right.
And if you watch it, you can genuinely watch them both be completely scared that they're going to break the only knife they have to test for this Kickstarter, but also be genuinely both amazed at how well the knife works and really obviously trying to not oversell that, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Like, they look very genuine as they're surprised by how well the knife is working in all the different tests they're putting it up against. And it survives some pretty friggin' brutal batoning.
You were telling me about the
boomerang piece of wood.
Yeah.
Multiple times. They actually stopped the video at one point to show the knife, and you can see the knife is bent as they're batoning it through this piece of wood.
Nice.
They only have maybe that much of the knife peeking through that they're batoning against. Like they're putting that knife in the worst possible kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Environments.
TRC, right? Like, I've heard nothing but excellent things about their heat treatment, their edge geometry. So to hear all that, fantastic.
It's money in the bank, man. It really is. Like, I have one of the splinters. I think they call it a Freedom now, basically the same knife, but like, M390 with a spot on heat treatment. The thing is, like, Splinter's a good name for it because it's just slicey, sliver thin. Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, I just wanted to point this out because DBK they both seem to be pretty decent fellas, and I want to see them succeed. And the last time I looked, which was this morning, they had a few more people that they needed to jump on that bandwagon as far as their knife and get their Kickstarter off the ground. So somebody should go and follow them. Go and do it. Do it because I can't. Because I spent too much money on this.
No, the Kickstarter. Okay, here, I'm on the Kickstarter right now.
Okay.
And their goal was $36,937.
Yep.
So yeah, basically 37 grand is what they were looking for. Currently, they are at $282,000 and $902.
More people should put their name onto that list.
Yeah, so they're about to hit a 1,000% or 100%. Sorry, over what they were actually looking for. So
good shit. Yeah. Super cool to see that they're able to do this. Do you know if this is going to be a full-time production thing, or is this a limited release? What are they doing?
The first run is going to be 300 knives that'll be numbered with a DBK fire steel with a bamboo handle.
Which is the one you normally see if you see one of their DBK branded ones in their videos.
Yeah, true story.
For one brilliant moment in my head, I thought you meant bamboo-handled knife. And I was like, yeah, sure. Wait a minute. No.
I believe they said the first 300 would be out this year, and then any ones following up after that would be available in 2022.
I have no idea.
First 300 will be ready in October.
There you go.
Okay. I have no idea what TRC's... It is TRC, right?
Correct, sir.
What does that stand for?
TRC made, as far as I understand, TRC made this one. In the video, they're specifically talking about having to hire staff to make their knives. So they might be hiring TRC. They might be hiring TRC to train their own guys to make their knives. I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe they're going to hire people to work out of the TRC factory to make their stuff while TRC's doing their own thing. I'm not sure, but it's very interesting, and I hope nothing but the best for those lads.
For the hours of entertainment they provided. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know what TRC stands for. Good knife. That's that's what it stands for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lithuanian for damn good knife. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Oh,
Joe.
Small thing. What's the stock thickness on this guy? Just out of
4
curiosity. 4 mil? Okay, that's nice.
I believe that's what I saw.
That's workable.
Kickstarter 4 mils. Yeah, there we go. Cool. True convex, no secondary bevel.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
You said small thing?
Yeah, Joe. You said a small thing.
Did I?
You did.
I don't know. You don't remember your small thing? Because
it was just Demco Knives that I wanted.
Oh, Demco set. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, okay. I guess we're last thing. So my thing, Reate decided to release their very first fixed blade.
Oh, yes, I saw the video.
It has. Oh, have you seen the video?
I have. Yes.
That's
funny.
There is only one video so far, but I did also see it on Reate's Instagram page because, I follow Reate because they make some pretty stuff, being Chinese made and such.
They sure
do. Their first fixed blade is a Jim Skelton design.
It sure is.
So
Paul.
Let's introduce Reate to a fixed bladed world by throwing some Jim Skelton.
I was going to say, is it a tibia?
Right up in your face.
So people have opinions about Jim Skelton. Paul, what did you tell us?
No, I will not.
Okay, for what it's worth, he has been he's friendly with a lot of high-end knife makers, and he has gone out of his way to be properly trained by them in a lot of the methodologies that are involved with knife making, for sure. I don't always agree with his design language, but his more recent stuff, and by more recent, I mean the last year or two, it looks well made. Not all of his stuff is stuff I'm interested in. Some of it I wouldn't mind owning. This actually doesn't look all that bad.
The naming is weird.
Yeah, there are some, I wouldn't necessarily call them questionable elements, but they're definitely things that might give you pause. His logo being what it is, the big skull with the goatee, I always found kind of humorous, and not humorous like the next release he's going to come out with, but the sorry, I had to.
Terrible. He's definitely got some odd bag speed holes in that knife.
He sure does. This is a super weird place, like, for Reate to start, honestly. As far as fixed blades go, this is first and foremost a tactical knife. This is not a utility-based whatever. This is like carrying a Yo Jumbo and claiming that it's a utility blade, right? Like, sure, it's a great carpet cutter. Okay, cool, but at the end of the day, that's a knife that's designed for quickly slashing through people, right? Like, that's what this is. And for whatever reason, that's not the mentality that I necessarily have of Reate, and I'd be curious in hearing if you two feel the same way. Like, I don't get that vibe from Reate. I don't get the cold steel vibe from Reate.
The only Reate knife that I have is the Pena X Trapper.
They've got some stuff. Like, they jump on the Todd bags and they have some stuff for sure that has a little more of that feel to it. But again, it's so I also sent you a post about Jim talking about why he designed the tibia, and I don't know if you've read his.
Was it right? Was it actually the tibia?
Yeah.
I've seen the picture on. Yeah,
I thought you were,
but I don't know the names of his.
Oh,
knives.
dude, I thought you were being
facetious.
facetious. Sorry, I should have congratulated you earlier. Yeah, that is totally totally the name of this.
They're coming out with the tibia.
I will read this out loud from Jim. When I designed the tibia, my goal was to make the knife as compact as possible, but still practical for real use as a tool or for self-defense. Most makers who design a compact fixed blade focus on a full-sized handle, then size down the blade to make it actually compact. I always saw that as backwards. and he talks about this in his video too, if you wanted to go watch that after the fact to get some more clear images of it. So I made a full-size blade with a scaled-down handle. As a cutting tool, the blade size is practical and efficient.
Hang on.
So here's the thing. He talks about having a scaled-down handle and then talks about it being a practical and efficient size. I feel like those two paradigms are juxtaposed here.
And real tool for or self-defense type of thing. Nothing says a positive grip like a handle doesn't fit your hand properly,
like
right?
a 2.5 finger grip.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Come on, put a lanyard on the back. What's the big deal?
I mean, you could do it with a minimalist, so...
I think Justin is right in his comment. I think this knife has Steven Seagal black with frosted tips for Eric style. Like it's
you should see the murdered out version and I totally still.
Oh, I've seen customs. I did some homework on this.
Reate actually produced, I think it was 300. I can't remember if it was 300 knives total with 150 of each variant or 300 of each variant, but they did an all black DLC version, and that thing just looks like okay, cool.
The tibia, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. They do have a blacked out version as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can kind of get where his argument is coming from. You want it It's like having a subcompact SMG. Yeah, you can tuck it out of the way, and if you need it, it's there. Like, okay, cool. I get it. But you know why the minimalist is such a great design? And we're talking about lanyards on the end of shit. Even if this didn't have the lanyard, you still have grip that's holding these three fingers in position. But with the tibia, like I'll bring the picture back up here.
I was talking about my Boker Gnome the other day, and same thing. It doesn't come with, but it comes with a big lanyard hole that you can add one to, and as soon as you do, you're like, oh yeah, that changes that knife significantly, type of thing, right? Like
right.
And the lanyard's on the right side of that fixed blade as far as holding it for in that self-defense-y kind of way.
Yeah.
With something like that. And
at the very least, yes, he does have a lanyard hole that you can attach a lanyard to, which honestly, if you're going to think about a full-fisted grip on that knife for a self-defense scenario, you probably want that full grip. You don't want to be assing around with just this short, stubby little handle. So I think this is kind of mismanaged, but at the same time, I also think this knife would feel super comfortable in a pinch grip. And I could actually see this knife being comfortable to use as a utility knife. So,
and you're going to cover those speed holes with your thumb, Joe?
So
yeah.
So I want to throw it out there
shit
as well.
Doesn't get into them. Yeah, Dennis.
This is the shrunk down neck knifey version, if I remember correctly.
Well,
this is not.
This is the full size tibia. He did tibia
is a compact knife.
He called. Yeah, he didn't.
This is a 2.5 inch blade. This is not a large knife, I don't think.
No, but the tibia is small. Like, this is a fairly small knife.
Yeah, but Ben's comment was talking about, wait, I've seen this in a shrunk down neck knife. I think that's exactly the knife you're looking at right now, Ben, is the shrunk down neck knife version of this. Yeah. So this in a full-sized 4-inch, I'd be like, that's kind of badass, sign me up type of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This, the size of my, my real steel connector, wouldn't be a bad little utility blade.
You know what this almost reminds me of is those, and I can't remember the name of the guy who was making them, and I feel bad about that because he's a talented young maker, but those, they were called lime cutters. And there were these little tiny cleaver blades that were like maybe a 3-finger grip. They looked super nice. In every photo I've ever seen, like, that's a cool looking knife.
It's not Chumley, is it?
It's not what?
Chumley? Something like that?
No, he's an American kid.
So funny thing is not a lime cutter in particular, but the third picture I sent you. And I'm not saying that these are very similar knives, but I'm not saying go to the lime cutter first. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just popping that guy up because, and see, that looks way more comfortable, to be honest.
It's like if the TDI front flipper that we were talking about earlier got put on the end of a fixed blade, you know.
Yeah,
a little bit. Hell knife, I forget what it was called. Anyway.
And here's the third picture you sent. That was from Cap City Creations.
Yeah, okay, so there's an Instagram gentleman that, like I said, there's some similarities. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there is, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying which knife was first, But Instagram gentleman called Cap City Creations. Now, the best part about this knife in particular, and go check out his stuff. He's a funny guy. I think he's a private, but if you're a knife guy, he'll let you on for sure. The best thing about this knife in particular is he didn't know what to name it when he had designed it, and he ended up naming it the Geordie. After Geordie LaForge, Star Trek, it's got the visor on it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it had tire treads on the handle.
That's kind of
that?
It looks like tire treads.
The tracks, I think it was just a traction thing more than anything else. But yes, the Geordie with the visor, the groove, and the fuller. And kind of funny.
I like that. Yeah. But
then you look at the skeleton design with all the holes along the fuller, and I'm like if you want to step up your Geordie game a little bit, that's what you do right there. Like
you need little slots all the way down there.
Exactly, right? Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, they took the Geordie and they stepped it up a little bit, right? No, I think actually, if you look at it, the tibia was first, and there is some design differences on the handle and the blade shape and whatever, right?
They're not the same knife by any means.
No, but as soon as I saw the two and knowing I knew the Cap City Creations from
that's super funny though.
Before the Geordie.
Yeah.
These knives don't look anything like the Spyderco Tough, but that fuller that just ends at the front of the blade is very Spyderco Tough in my brain.
Yep.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, one of those. So
yeah, just like that.
What the hell was the name of that Spyderco fixed blade with it looked kind of like this, but you could reverse the handle?
The reverse.
Was it actually called the reverse?
That knife was called the reverse.
I kind of wish I picked up one of those things. It was so weird.
That's silly, sir.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different one. The reverse had the Hawkbill blade. What was the one with the Warncliffe sort of...
Well, that wasn't a reversible handled one.
Okay, I'm just getting
this was the one.
This is
the one that had the reversible handle. The other one was called. It was the Ronin. Like it's the fixed bladed version of the Yojimbo.
Wasn't the Ronin? Okay, what's the one that Nigel has then? But anyway, this is the one that came to mind as soon as I saw the tibia. I'm like, yeah, that's similar.
Folder version. Yeah. Nigel has the Stingray handled one that Nigel has is called the Kumo.
The Kumo. Okay, I don't know why I thought maybe it was just because of the handle that I thought it was called the Ronin, but.
And the original Ronin was more of like you can see both pictures there. The original Ronin and the Ronin 2.
Yeah. That Ronin's a weird looking knife for a Spyderco. No hole in the blade, hey? That's interesting. Anyway.
They didn't get pissy about that until about 10 years ago. And then I think it was Pekka Timonen with his Puko that started it all. And that was kind of where it snowballed from there, I think.
That's really funny.
I was going to say it was probably somebody rules about trademarking and stuff like that. You can't trademark something and not defend it as being on everything or something.
I wish Fisk was here just to bitch about it being a hole. Just because look at how many holes the tibia has. Like seriously. I wonder if that's
one hole is bad. Multiple holes are for speed, and we all know that speed is key.
It does make this knife significantly faster. One might say light speed. That's
Oh,
it's so good.
I don't like that at all.
Where's my leave button?
It's right here. Just end the call.
This one in particular, Ben is saying that this is a 4.25 inch blade. I did not think that was the case.
That's a big blade on.
Big blade and small handle. That's the whole ethos behind this entire design. So keep that in mind if you're interested in picking one up.
Look up the ADV Butcher for me.
I think I've seen that knife before too. Yeah.
Sorry. ADV Butcher?
Yeah.
ADV Butcher knife. There we go. Okay. Yes, I've seen these. I guess this is this the full custom? No. What is this? Okay, there's a whole bunch of these that are coming up.
Yes.
A ton of different variants. Some of them a little bit more traditional looking than others.
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy from South Africa, I want to say? I feel like
we could read a product description.
Jim Shelton's reviewed one of these knives before. I'm just saying.
Was it before or after he made the tibia?
I'm not even going to say.
Don't you worry.
It's a man asking questions over here.
You are correct about him being a South African maker.
The random shit that gets stuck in my brain.
Man, that really does. Yeah, that blade looks super familiar. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's definitely done a review of that exact knife, if not that exact one, but a variant of that exact knife back in the day.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay, yeah, Ben does say the quick Google of skating the Skeleton Blade Works tibia is a 4.25. So that is bigger than I thought it was. Like,
do we know what the handle length is, like the grippable area?
Well, obviously 1 3/4 if it was a 4 1/4 inch blade. It's
gotta be
explained in his description how lopsided how backwards he thought the principle.
Like if that's 4.25, if I've got, oh wow, it might actually have my monitor scaled to the right dimensions. That means that handle is close to, if you have your finger right up against the blade, almost 3 5/8. Almost, not quite.
I adore the idea that he thinks that a 4 1/4 inch blade is a reasonable fixed bladed like EDC.
Compact. It's compact.
Okay,
yeah,
don't worry about it.
That's
4
not
1/4 inch compact.
Okay,
is Jim Skeleton the new Lynn Thompson?
Yes, but I will say that
yes, easy answer.
Okay, I think this handle is probably not going to be as uncomfortable as I initially thought. It looks like if it's to scale on my monitor, I can fit all 4 fingers across it relatively easily. Okay, it might actually be somewhat comfortable, but to call that subcompact, it's like maybe for a fighting knife, like I don't know. Do I have a good example of a fighting knife here? No, not really. Yeah. I don't know. There's all kinds of silliness out there. I think.
And then, are we using some sort of screw construction for that handle too? But
yeah, so
it looks some sort of in between a T6 and a proprietary tool.
It is a Torx, but it reminds me heavily of the pivot on my 707.
707, yeah, for sure it does. Yeah,
it's exactly what that reminds me of.
Corey C is saying the ADV Butcher was Blade Show darling a couple years ago.
Okay,
many years ago. Yeah.
I legitimately I'm pretty sure that knife is the reason why I think that the Rip Snort was made. Like the Rip Snort has a lot of design language from that knife, and I'm not sure if it's the same maker or not. That designed both, but.
I'll look it up.
No.
Just because it's an easy thing to find out. Philip Booth.
Okay.
So no, totally different dude.
Different guy. Yeah.
But I mean the popularity of cleaver-shaped blades has definitely exploded in the last few years, right? And I mean,
Lord knows.
I don't know. I think it's kind of starting to cool off now. Like you don't hear people ranting and raving about it, but you still see new customs and new high-end production models like this coming out with cleaver-shaped blades.
And it's going to be the wave of the future.
The wave of the future. I hope not.
The future's looking bleak, dude.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
yeah.
I would enjoy it. I don't know how many other people would enjoy it,
okay,
though.
Just a quick side note. I just did a quick search about just the ADV Butcher and just seeing how far back. I am seeing oldest reviews from 2014.
Okay. That predates Skeleton for sure. I said that with a great deal. Yeah. I said that with a great deal of certainty, but as soon as I said it, I'm like, but maybe not.
No, I was watching his videos back then on YouTube.
Oh,
for sure.
He's been doing reviews for a super long time, but as far as his custom knife making stuff, I don't know
when the first tibia came out, but either way, anyway.
Yeah.
It's got enough design differences between everything that no one's going to go after him. But yeah, there's a lot of
this isn't a
taken
rip-off,
from this, taken from this, taken from this. And I mean, from a man who might have sketched a knife or two myself, I've taken this from this and this from this because of things I've liked and made my own blades, right? So
we were literally just talking about it with DBK and how they took this blade width from one knife and that blade length from another and handle length from over here. So
and you get yourself a proper CAD program and a couple drinks in you, and it's amazing what you can come up with.
I have a whole folder full of just Bullshit. We'll probably will never see the light of day for that very reason. But that's okay.
I was gonna make a terrible joke and be like, "Yeah, no, you've shown us those."
Oh no, you get to be punished with the existence of those things at some point.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see your B-sides.
Oh God.
Well, I think this might round us out for the evening, boys.
For sure,
I think so. Yeah. We covered a decent amount.
I don't know about a good note to end on, but it's a note to end on.
Oof. So you might know how Dennis feels about anyway.
Yeah, see him, not me.
Okay, my biggest thing is out of all the fixed blades that you can choose to make as Reate's first fixed blade. And I know we dabbled on it a couple minutes ago and whatever, but that's my biggest takeaway more than anything else.
Can you imagine if they
your
contacted...
introduction to this?
Does Reate make anything in the self-defense realm?
For folders, yeah.
To look at, for sure they do. Yeah.
But look at stuff. Can you imagine if they contacted like Alan Foltz? I know I keep thinking about the minimalist, but like had they done like a gussied up minimalist that was readily available? Come on, that would be so cool. This it certainly tells you something that their first run was only 600 knives. And these aren't cheap, by the way. Before we go into the conclusions and all that, God, what did these go for? They were something like
custom versions of them. At
no. The Reate versions are like 280.
Have you seen a price point? I haven't seen.
Skelton on his YouTube channel actually talked about prices.
I haven't watched that review yet. Yeah. Okay.
Right. I believe he says somewhere north of 260 American for this. And I think they're doing RWL 34 for the blade steel.
Yeah, actually, I think I did read that as well.
Yeah.
So let's look at some 154 CM in a gussied up version as well. It's a Japanese version, if I remember correctly.
Would have been nice.
Is that what RWL? It's a Japanese equivalent of a 154.
RWL is same company who does Damasteel. I think it is Damasteel.
Oh, okay. Because that's their main ingredient in Damasteel as well.
I think so. Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm pretty certain of that. Which, okay, it's a decent choice. And for people who want the tibia, who are collectors of Skeleton, but they haven't been able to get a tibia yet for whatever reason, it's certainly cheaper than the custom. But I feel like we talked about that in the Jared Ogier designed. I'm drawing a blank, but the little flipper that just came out with a gold class.
Tengu.
Thank you. Yeah.
Every time I hear the word tibia, all I can think of is Chris Weidman throwing that check.
That's right, he did. Yeah, anyway.
Gross. Yeah.
See, Paul, in the rare situation of the YouTube playback feed, mine and yours actually might have this tibia and that tibia right after each other. I'm just saying, there is this certain category of people. And I think
it's such a narrow subsection of people, but you both fit. It is.
Yeah. Like UFC and knives. Come on.
And Jim Skeleton knives. Okay, that does track. That does track.
Yeah.
I think the subsection between Reate knives and UFC fighters is slimmer than Jim Skeleton viewers and UFC viewers.
Yeah, that's probably true. Depends on if he frosted his tips or not.
Was that an actual spit take? Did it
no,
finally?
I had just finished. It was so close. Wow.
All right, gentlemen, let's wrap this shit up, eh?
Yes,
I'm not going to call it a shit show, but man, that was fun.
Yeah. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We appreciate it. We're trying to grow slowly as we're coming along, type of thing. Patreon as well. I know we don't have as much content other than the live streams, but we're having fun on the live streams. Hopefully we will get some content out soon, but we're still figuring out the editing of the software, and it's a new thing for us. So
yeah,
there's a global pandemic going on. We're trying to get things figured out.
We got so much shit on our plate right now. It's not even funny as I laugh about it. But we are making steps. I bought I bought a tripod recently, so
Yeah, you showed that off.
yeah, we're gonna
One day you'll use it.
I don't know. I don't know if I actually showed it off on stream though. So we
All
are
right,
we
fair
are
enough.
trying to get stuff together, but
I mean, it may or may not involve a chinchilla. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah, it just might.
If you pick up that chinchilla and Mr. Fisk is not here, he will never forgive you.
Yeah, he'd be pretty upset.
On that note, you should follow us over on Instagram as well. That's where we post things as far as what's going on with the channel. If there's information, if something's gone on and we can't post, we can't stream that weekend or whatever else, that's the place to find information. So
we've done weekly polls. We probably will do weekly polls again. I imagine those will come up as well for sure.
We have to ask what a bagel is worth at the very least.
Well, that's good. Yeah. If we get enough bagels, maybe we can buy that Milwaukee hardline from Home Depot that we wanted to look into where it was coming from. Because I didn't forget. It's here. I just haven't found the answer yet. So stay tuned on the Milwaukee hardline for sure.
I'm excited.
This shouldn't
we have to do a long-term review of that knife.
It's made
Once we get it, it's going to be like our zombie hunter. It really is.
We have to buy 3 of them.
Like it's made of D2. Who was the product designer? What happened?
Hinderer. He's just produced by like Tarantino. We were talking about earlier. He's not actually going to put his name on.
Hinderer wouldn't make an index finger choil that crappily. Come on. That's super squished.
Okay. Flavio Coma. As soon as you said finger choil, you knew where that was going. Anyway, let's wrap this up. I am who I am, guys. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
And I'm exile.ca.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Catch you later.